The pristine fairways of Pinebrook Country Club stretched endlessly under the afternoon sun as I polished crystal glasses at the 19th hole's outdoor bar. My father's retirement celebration was in full swing, with 40 years of his business associates and family members gathered to honor his successful career in commercial real estate. I wore my simple black polo shirt and khakis, moving efficiently between tables while conversations about stock options and golf handicaps flowed around me. "Maria, stop hovering around like hired help and come join your family," my stepmother Carmen called out, waving her manicured hand toward the reserved seating area. She had never quite accepted that her stepdaughter worked in what she considered manual labor, despite my father's repeated explanations that everyone needed to start somewhere. I continued arranging the glassware with precise attention to detail, ensuring each piece caught the light perfectly. The Waterford crystal reflected the afternoon sun in brilliant patterns across the white linen tablecloths. "I'm making sure everything runs smoothly for Dad's celebration," I replied simply. My father, Eduardo Rodriguez, loosened his silk tie and leaned back in his leather chair. At 65, he commanded respect in every room he entered, his commercial real estate empire spanning 3 states. The retirement party had been planned for months, bringing together clients who'd trusted him with billion-dollar developments over the decades. "That's exactly the problem, Mija," Eduardo declared, his voice carrying the authority of someone accustomed to closing major deals. "You're 32 years old, and you're still thinking like service class. Know your place in this family." The comment drew nods from my brother Carlos, a successful surgeon, and my sister Isabella, who'd recently made partner at her international law firm. They'd both followed the Rodriguez family tradition of professional excellence, while I'd apparently chosen a different path entirely. "Some people are natural servers," my Uncle Miguel observed, gesturing with his scotch toward where I stood arranging napkins. "Nothing wrong with understanding your limitations early in life." My cousin Diego, a prominent architect, chuckled at his father's comment. "At least she's working. Better than sitting around expecting handouts from family success." I methodically polished another crystal tumbler, noting how the afternoon light created rainbow patterns on its surface. My phone buzzed discreetly with a text from my general manager. "Membership applications up 300% this quarter. Need approval for Aspen expansion timeline. Miami acquisition closing Friday." "You know what Maria's problem is?" Carmen announced to the gathered family members. "No vision for real success. She's content being invisible, cleaning up after accomplished people instead of becoming one herself." My Aunt Rosa nodded approvingly. "Exactly. Look around this club, Maria. Membership here costs more than most people make in 2 years. This is where winners gather. You should be inspired by this level of achievement." The Pinebrook Country Club sparkled around us, its championship golf course designed by legendary architects, its clubhouse featuring hand-imported marble and custom millwork. Every detail reflected the kind of understated luxury that money alone couldn't buy. It required vision, connections, and an understanding of what true exclusivity meant. "The service here is exceptional," commented one of my father's business partners, raising his glass appreciatively. "You can tell this place has serious money behind it. Probably some investment group or hospitality corporation. Regular people don't own establishments like this." "Definitely not," agreed Dr. Martinez, a successful cardiologist who'd known our family for years. "This level of luxury requires tens of millions in capital. The golf course maintenance alone probably costs more than most people's annual salaries." I continued working quietly, ensuring every aspect of the celebration met the exacting standards I'd established when I acquired the property. The hand-selected artwork, imported stone flooring, and custom-designed lighting fixtures had taken 18 months to plan and execute perfectly. "Maria should pay attention to how real business operates," Eduardo suggested, gesturing broadly around the opulent clubhouse. "Maybe she could learn something about proper management instead of just working at that hotel downtown." Speaking of which, Carlos addressed me directly while adjusting his Rolex. "How's the hotel job going?" "Still coordinating events and managing staff. Event planning and operations management," I replied simply, straightening the silverware arrangement. "Same thing," he waved dismissively. "Manual labor with a fancy title. At least you're employed, though. That's something positive." The conversation continued around me as I moved efficiently through my tasks, invisible to my family despite standing just feet away. They discussed real estate markets, medical procedures, legal strategies, the familiar rhythm of their success-focused discussions providing background noise while I ensured their afternoon remained flawless. "You know what Maria needs?" Isabella announced to the table, her voice carrying the confidence of someone who'd just billed 3,000 hours to make partner. A reality check about what actual achievement looks like. She's living in a fantasy where service work equals success. "Some people are followers by nature," Miguel nodded sagely. "Nothing wrong with accepting your role in life. The hospitality industry needs workers too." My phone buzzed again. This time it was my acquisitions team, Palm Beach Club purchase approved. Shareholders voted unanimously. Need CEO signature for final documentation. I silenced the device and continued working. "The thing is," Rosa continued, warming to the topic, "Maria could do better if she applied herself properly. She has the Rodriguez intelligence. She just lacks the ambition to use it for real success." "Real success requires real sacrifice," Carlos added, swirling his aged bourbon thoughtfully. "Medical school was brutal, but look where it got me. Respected surgeon, six-figure income, membership at places like this. That's what happens when you refuse to settle for mediocrity." Eduardo raised his crystal tumbler in a toast. "To 40 years of building something meaningful, and to all of us who've worked hard to earn our place at tables like this. May we never forget that success comes to those who demand excellence from themselves." The family raised their glasses in unison, the crystals singing softly as they touched together. I watched from my position at the service station, noting how the light caught the amber liquor, how the baccarat crystal reflected the warm glow of the late afternoon sun streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows. "And Maria," Eduardo added with paternal authority, "maybe someday you'll understand what it means to aim higher than serving other people's achievements." The words hung in the pristine country club air as I folded linen cocktail napkins with mechanical precision. Each crease was exact, each corner perfectly aligned. The skill came from years of hospitality experience, though my family interpreted it as evidence of my limited aspirations. "She probably thinks this is impressive," Carmen whispered loudly enough for me to hear. "Working at an exclusive club, being around successful people. But there's a difference between serving excellence and creating it." The head golf professional, James Morrison, approached our gathering with his characteristic blend of athletic grace and business acumen. His movements reflected years of working with high-net-worth individuals, understanding that discretion and professionalism were as important as technical expertise in managing elite country clubs. "Good afternoon," James addressed the table with practiced warmth. "I trust everyone is enjoying Mr. Rodriguez's retirement celebration." "Absolutely exceptional," Eduardo replied, slightly relaxed from the premium scotch and his own sense of accomplishment. "This club represents everything I've worked toward. You should be proud to be part of an organization like this." "Thank you, sir," James smiled professionally. "We take great pride in maintaining the highest standards. In fact, this afternoon is particularly significant for our membership." "Oh?" Isabella asked with mild curiosity. "Yes, we're expecting several important announcements regarding the club's future direction. Our ownership has been expanding strategically, and today marks a major milestone in that growth." The family exchanged interested glances. Eduardo leaned forward with businessman's instincts. "Expansion? That's remarkable in today's market. Takes serious capital and vision." "Exceptional vision," James confirmed. "Our owner has built an impressive portfolio of premium clubs across multiple states, all maintaining this level of excellence." Carmen practically glowed with interest. "How exciting to be part of such success. The owner must be incredibly sophisticated." I continued my work silently, replacing water glasses and adjusting the fresh orchid centerpieces. The flowers had been flown in from Hawaii that morning, their delicate petals adding natural beauty to the table's formal elegance. My family remained completely absorbed in their conversation with James, unaware they were discussing my life's work. "The owner must be under tremendous pressure," Carlos mused. "Managing multiple high-end properties while maintaining these standards. That's CEO-level responsibility." "Actually," James replied with a slight smile, "our owner handles pressure remarkably well. Very hands-on, very detail-oriented. She's been here all afternoon, personally ensuring everything meets her exacting standards. She? Rosa asked with surprise. The owner is a woman. Yes, and quite accomplished. She's built this portfolio while still in her 30s, all through strategic acquisitions and operational excellence. Eduardo shook his head in amazement. That's extraordinary. What kind of background creates that level of success so young? Extensive hospitality experience, from what I understand, James replied. She learned the business from every angle: operations, guest services, facility management, financial planning. The irony could have been served as the evening's signature cocktail. My family sat discussing my achievements with genuine admiration while simultaneously dismissing me as a failure, all within the same conversation taking place at my own country club. I'd love to meet her, Carmen gushed. What an inspiration for professional women everywhere. Certainly, James nodded. I'm sure she'd be honored to meet such distinguished guests. My phone vibrated with an urgent message from my board of directors. Annual shareholder meeting moved to 4 p.m. Nevada acquisition requires immediate approval. Legal team standing by for signature. I glanced at the message and looked toward the clubhouse, where my executive team awaited direction. The club's atmosphere buzzed with subtle energy as word spread among staff that today's celebration would mark a significant announcement for the organization. Servers moved with extra precision, each interaction calibrated to perfection. The grounds crew had manicured every blade of grass to tournament standards. You know what fascinates me? Carlos said, swirling his bourbon thoughtfully. The owner probably started exactly where Maria is now. Learning hospitality from the ground up, understanding every detail of operations. The difference, Eduardo interjected firmly, is vision and execution. The owner had the intelligence to see the bigger picture and the drive to achieve it. Maria seems content to stay where she is. Maybe Maria just needs better role models, Isabella suggested diplomatically. Seeing what's possible when you really commit to excellence. The conversation was interrupted by movement near the clubhouse's main entrance. Several executives in tailored business suits approached our section, their presence commanding immediate attention from the staff. They moved with the measured confidence of people accustomed to making decisions that affected millions of dollars and hundreds of employees. James straightened as the group approached. Ladies and gentlemen, he announced to our table, I'd like you to meet the board of directors for Rodriguez Country Club Holdings. My family fell silent, suddenly aware they were in the presence of serious corporate power. Eduardo set down his scotch with extra care, his businessman's instincts recognizing the significance of the moment. The lead executive, a distinguished woman named Patricia Wells, surveyed the celebration before addressing James. Is Ms. Rodriguez available? The board is ready to begin our quarterly meeting. Of course, James replied, then turned toward me with professional respect. Ms. Rodriguez, your board of directors is assembled. The words hit my family like perfectly timed lightning, illuminating everything they thought they knew about success, achievement, and their own daughter's place in the world. Eduardo's cigar slipped from his fingers, falling to the manicured grass below. Patricia Wells continued, unaware of the family drama unfolding behind her. Congratulations on another exceptional quarter, Ms. Rodriguez. The 7-club portfolio now generates over $200 million in annual revenue, with the newest acquisitions exceeding all projections. I set down the crystal tumbler I'd been polishing and nodded calmly. Thank you, Patricia. Shall we move to the boardroom? 7 clubs. Carmen whispered, her voice barely audible above the afternoon breeze. The Rodriguez Country Club Holdings operates premium facilities across 4 states, Patricia confirmed, with aggressive expansion plans for the West Coast market. Ms. Rodriguez has revolutionized the luxury club experience while maintaining the personal attention that makes each property unique. Isabella's confident posture crumbled as she processed the scale of what she'd just learned. Making law firm partner suddenly seemed insignificant compared to building and operating a multi-state hospitality empire before age 35. I should mention, I said calmly to Patricia, that today's celebration includes my father's retirement party. We're honoring his 40 years of success in commercial real estate. Wonderful, Patricia smiled warmly. Success should always be celebrated within families who understand achievement. Carlos had gone completely silent, his medical degree and surgical expertise somehow diminished by comparison to the business empire his sister had built while he was criticizing her lack of ambition. Ms. Rodriguez, Patricia continued, the Wall Street Journal wants a comment about your expansion strategy. This makes you the youngest woman to control a hospitality portfolio of this magnitude. My phone buzzed with notifications from my CFO, my legal team, my operations managers. The business empire I'd built while my family assumed I was just working hotels demanded constant attention, strategic decisions, leadership across multiple markets. If you'll excuse me, I said to my family, I have board responsibilities that require immediate attention. As I walked toward the clubhouse's executive conference room, I heard Eduardo whisper urgently to Carmen, how did we not know? How did we not see? The answer, of course, was simple. They'd been too busy explaining my limitations to notice my achievements, too confident in their assumptions to question their own understanding, too focused on traditional measures of success to recognize excellence that didn't match their expectations. The retirement celebration continued on the pristine golf course, but the dynamic had fundamentally shifted. The same crystal glasses caught the same afternoon light, the same gentle breeze carried the same sounds of celebration, and the same luxury surrounded them as before.